Happy Monday, my friends. We do start our show in Phoenix, where the season has been turbulent, but the play of Kevin Durant, Danny Green, it had been a bright spot. That's what made last night such a bummer here. Kevin Durant and the Suns taking on Jalen Green and the Houston Rockets. Danny, we're going to pick this one up early in the first quarter. Durant knocks down a little mid-range jumper.
Doing what he does.
Suns trail 32-24 at the end of the first quarter. And then here, Alperen Şengün drives to the rim.
Oh, bully ball.
Little guy. Get out my way, little guy.
The bank shot to fall, Ramona. The defense here from the Phoenix Suns, it was lacking, and that's putting it kindly.
Has been all year.
Let's take one more look at this.
Great pass by Fred.
Baby Jokic getting that one to go here. Wild play by the Rockets. And then here, Kevin Durant, Dillon Brooks. They get a little tangled up. Durant doesn't like the play, shoves Brooks here. Brooks begins to chat a little bit. The referee gives him a technical and then another one, resulting in an ejection here from the game. This is Brooks' 7th career ejection. Despite this, the Rockets are rolling 78-49 at the half. So to the third we go. This is the unfortunate play here. Durant drives in the paint, falls to the ground, holding his left ankle, and then just unable to get up immediately right after. He stepped on Jabari Smith Jr.'s foot, it looks like, which is what caused the ankle to turn. He exits, clearly limping, doesn't return. And then Jalen Green was sensational here for the Houston Rockets. Gets the 3 to go there. The Rockets rolling up big.
You seeing the score?
A minute later.
Game is.
I mean, it was ugly before KD went down. So.
Yep. Easy dunk, drives to the rim. Green had a game-high 33 points. The Rockets go on to win 148-109. But, of course, Kevin Durant is the story of this game. Our senior insider, Shams Charania, joining us now. Shams, Coach Mike Budenholzer, he said that Kevin Durant is not traveling with the team to start their upcoming 3-game road trip. What more can you tell us about the amount of time that KD could be missing here?
Malika, sources tell me Kevin Durant is expected to be out at least through this next week, so he's going to miss this upcoming 3-game road trip. It's just going to be about how his ankle responds to day-to-day treatment. He's going to stay back in Phoenix. This is the 3rd time, though, Malika, that Kevin Durant has injured that left ankle over 2 years as a Phoenix Sun, and the Suns are now 1.5 games out of the play-in tournament slot. They have the hardest remaining schedule over the next 7 games in the NBA. They're in a world of trouble when it comes to the play-in tournament and their chances here to really compete. We know Kevin Durant loves to play basketball, loves to play, but this was a nasty-looking sprain. He's dealt with ankle injuries this year. I'm told he's also had shoulder issues, a thumb as well. We'll see if he'll be able to make it back before April 13th in Sacramento.
He is fighting through so much, it sounds like here, Shams. The Suns are 2-11 when Kevin Durant does not suit up for them this year. Shams, thank you so very much for stopping by NBA Today. Phoenix, they're now 2 back of the Mavs and the Kings in the loss column for that final 2 play-in spots before embarking on this 3-game road trip that Shams mentioned. And you can see it here, Milwaukee, Boston, and New York. And if you're thinking, whew, I mean, this looks harder than passing an AP exam, you're right. Phoenix does close out the league's toughest remaining schedule, and all of that means the Suns have just a 22% chance to reach the play-in tournament. That's according to ESPN Analytics. So back here with Ramona Shelburne, Danny Green, and joining us is Tim Legler as well. Right now, this is part of what makes this such a bummer, Tim. KD is short of that 65-game minimum to qualify for All-NBA honors. He's actually even short of needing at least 3 more games to be considered. Despite the Suns' struggles, he's been a bright spot. Legs, can you just contextualize his season for us here?
Not just this season, Malika. I think you need to look at this guy's career. And I think sometimes, when guys are this great for this long, you become a little bit desensitized to how good it is every night. To put it in perspective, he's accomplishing this year, he's tacking on to that 12 straight seasons over 50%. So it'll be 13 straight years at the end of this season. You want to put that in context? Take a look at 2 of the most efficient scorers we've seen on the perimeter in NBA history. When you look at Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard, they're 2 guys that come to mind. Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard combined shot over 50% from the field in a given season, fewer times than Kevin Durant has currently done it consecutively. They only did it 10 times between the 2 of them. Durant's on a streak of 13. He does it so effortlessly and easily, and I know he would trade in all NBA to be on a contender. I'm certain of that. It's the one bright thing left for the Suns is Kevin Durant potentially to make it, because I think their play-in chances are cooked with this injury. But I do think, look, Kevin Durant has been as good as he's been over the last 5-6 years this season, and he's pushing 40. It'll be here before you know it, still getting it done at such a high level. I do think we need to acknowledge it sometimes. This string he has been on of efficiency and scoring at a high level, it's incredible.
I'm with you, Legs. He's pushing 40 is a little crazy. He's like, 36? He still's got some time. But these injuries...
For an older guy like me, Danny, that means pushing 40.
See, there you go.
I'm with you. But so Kevin Durant, he's been great for so long, but these injuries are only showing that he has very little window. And this might be the last time we see him in a Suns uniform. With these injuries, they got to take it game at a time. With their record without him being out for this next week, I don't see them making the play. You're behind Dallas, who is barely have enough players to play games. They're almost forfeiting games.
Right.
This is not a good, sign, and it's embarrassing loss. Even before Kevin Durant went down, it was 92-57. It was pretty bad. So unless Bradley Beal comes back, obviously take a game at a time. But this summer they're looking at probably an overhaul of shipping out everybody.
I mean, can we talk about though what he has gone through this season? Yeah. I mean, he's doing all of this right now, Malika, after they tried to trade him at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
That didn't tell him, he found out sort of through back channels that they had just trade discussions about him. And rather than get upset and throw a tantrum, he's gotten better. He's been exceptionally professional. He had them in this play-in tournament race here. And I think it's really unfortunate because they obviously are going to revisit those trade conversations because this team isn't good enough. And probably the only way they can get better is to look to move him and get something in return.
And so we hear Danny saying that he thinks that this is the last time that we're seeing KD in a Suns uniform. Shams is saying that the hope is potentially that he could try to come back, but at least it's going to be a week here. From your reporting, Ramona, are teams already sort of starting to hover? Which teams would those be?
Look, I think, you had some of the initial conversations at the deadline. I mean, Kevin's representative, Rich Kleiman, started having initial conversations with teams that he might want to go to after he found out that there was conversations involving the Golden State Warriors and him going back to Golden State. And so I think they'll look to work with Kevin and his representative on conversations already with the Miami Heat. They already had conversations with the Warriors. I think those were cut off and probably won't be revisited. But look for teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets, whom they just played, even the New York Knicks, we say, which we have had conversations with in the past before. And let's see how the playoffs end up. Because Kevin Durant, as Tim talked about, as Danny talked about, is still a fantastic player.
Absolutely. And we've saw that, which is what makes it such a bummer. And I do hope for KD's sake that we're able to see him come back and meet that minimum number of games because he absolutely deserves All-NBA. You mentioned Minnesota, the playoff intensity that was lacking in Phoenix, not an issue between the Timberwolves and Pistons last night. We had a little brawl for it all. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. Remember, Cade Cunningham has been sidelined. Ron Holland, adios. JB Bickerstaff.
Beef stew's in it.
We're sorry, Pablo. We had to delineate coach just so we're all on the same page. Happy Monday, my friends. We do start our show in Phoenix, where the season has been turbulent, but the play of Kevin Durant, Danny Green, it had been a bright spot. That's what made last night such a bummer here. Kevin Durant and the Suns taking on Jalen Green and the Houston Rockets, Danny. We're going to pick this one up early in the first quarter. Durant knocks down a little mid-range jumper.
Doing what he does.
Suns trail 32-24 at the end of the first quarter. And then here, Alperen Şengün drives to the rim.
Oh, bully ball.
Little guy. Get out my way, little guy.
The bank shot to fall, Ramona. The defense here from the Phoenix Suns, it was lacking, and that's putting it kindly.
Has been all year.
Let's take one more look at this.
Great pass by Fred.
Baby Jokic getting that one to go here. Wild play by the Rockets. And then here, Kevin Durant, Dylan Brooks. They get a little tangled up. Durant doesn't like the play, shoves Brooks here. Brooks begins to chat a little bit. The referee gives him a technical and then another one, resulting in an ejection here from the game. This is Brooks' 7th career ejection. Despite this,